So you're saying he hasn't seen the last of Esther Passaris?
No, he hasn't.
So what does that mean? Are you
It means
obviously, for instance, if you lose the petition?
If I lose the petition, do you know, I'm a person who's given myself now to serving Kenyans, and serving Kenyans means dealing with poverty, all right, dealing with governance issues, dealing with infrastructure, because we really have to get people to live in better houses, water in the taps. This country is so advanced where you go to Westgate and you eat in a 5-star restaurant, and then on the other side you've got people that haven't seen water, clean water for ages, can't afford hospital bills, can't bury their dead. I mean, the social divide between the rich and the poor is alarming in Kenya, and we need to do something to bridge that. And I've got my foundation, the Driving Kenya Foundation, and I'm going to really pursue that and work on poverty across the country. Obviously, I still want to see a Dr. Light in the Nairobi Stock Exchange, so I'm hoping that we can deal with the legal issues in the next 1 year. I have other business ideas that I'm going to come up with, because politics is expensive. So if I want to stay in politics, I'm going to have to do some good innovative business that will be able to fund politics. And let me tell you something, you know what, there's this big debate right now with the Mheshimiwas on the taxation. I'll tell you one thing, I believe that everybody that earns an income should be taxed. But I also believe that the Mheshimiwas have a point, especially the Mheshimiwas that are not rich. I mean, there's certain Mheshimiwas like Johnston Muthama and what's his name, Harun Mwau, who money is not an issue, you know, and probably Amos Kimunya, the ones who've been there for a while now.
Uhuru.
You know, Uhuru, money is not an issue, land is the issue. We need to sort out the land issue. But when you think about the Mheshimiwa, I mean it. I've been to the constituency in the morning where I probably have 100,000 in my bag, and I go into the constituency, and then, Mama, this one has died, this school fees, this tap here, this water, you know. I mean, I went to Mukuru, and the road was so bad, and it had rained a little bit, so I had to hire a grader to just flatten the road so that the people could pass. Then there's another place I went, there was this heap of garbage, and this church complained, so I had to hire people to remove the garbage.
So
then I went to Umoja. Listen to this. I went to Umoja, and they'd not had water for months, and City Council was sending 1 tanker. I ordered 20 tankers. So I'm telling you that the Mheshimiwa's money is not his salary. It is the community money. Now, this is where we have gone wrong as leaders. Leaders have to have a certain amount that you tithe, a certain amount that you give for social, and the rest is your earning, you're working.
But what about the CDF, which is supposed to build those roads,
CDF,
fix the garbage?
CDF, but what about burials? What about sick people?
Everyone has burials. You and I have burials.
The poor people cannot afford. The poor people have a problem. And then also we have this culture of asking for help, because it's become a culture. So to reverse that culture will take a long time. Everybody, I mean, come on, Jeff, I'm sure you have family relatives who are calling you and saying, Jeff, school fees, hospital, burial.
But I am not unique. A lot of people do that to a lot of people.
But this is a cultural problem, and that's why I agreed with President Kibaki when he said the era of free things is over.
You agreed with President Kibaki?
On that issue and the working nation, I agreed with him on those two issues. He understood this free thing that Kenya wants. But you know, when you haven't had a job for 5 years and you have a child, and you can't tell the teenagers or the youth don't have sex, don't have children. Ultimately, they're living with their parents, they're having children. You know, we have to deal with poverty and unemployment. So I feel where we are let down is the local authority. We're let down also on the way we've handled poverty. We need to deal with poverty so that the Mheshimiwa's money becomes his money. And that's why also you find people want to get cabinet positions, because then you need to make deals to sustain the needs of your constituency. So the solution to my Mheshimiwas, who I'll be joining you in the near future, is let us address poverty so that we don't have to keep feeding and subsidizing and assisting the electorate. And then also, you know, like I never paid. You know, I'd go on the campaign trail and I'd see youth doing this. I'd stop and tell them, what is this? Mother soda, pesa. And I said, why should I buy you? You know, for me, the African pride is eroded. I feel terrible when men ask me for money. I keep thinking, you're the breadwinner. According to biblical terms, you were supposed to toil the sand and bring the money home. But I think it's a culture, you know, and they don't have the shame in asking because they have so many problems.
Yeah.
But they ask for it for drugs, they ask for it for alcohol, they ask for it for living and eating. I have no problems empowering women. I have a problem by giving them something to get them going. I met a guy in Donholm, and he said to me, "Mom, I want only 800 shillings." And I looked at him and I said, "What do you want 800 shillings for?" This is on the campaign trailer. And he said, "If I have 800 shillings, I can buy a jiko, I can buy githeri and maize, and buy the plates and start my own business." He had this piece of paper and he was going to start a business. I mean, Jeff, with 800 shillings, this guy would be able to make money every day to feed himself just by doing the githeri business. You know, I gave him the money and I wished him luck, and I hope he's doing well where he is. So we need to find a way to help people become self-sustaining.
Bottom line, you had fun during this campaign, didn't you? It looked like you were having fun most of the time.
I mean, it was lovely. For me, it was lovely. First of all, you know, when I started the campaign, I was threatened a lot. I'm going to die. Mbakasi's, you know, where it died, and why do I want to kill myself? You know, all kinds of funny things. So I feel like I have to have this T-shirt. I survived Mbakasi. You know.
That'll sell.
Yeah, I survived Mbakasi. I love the Kenyan people. I mean, I think that we have misled them, misdirected them, and abused them in a certain way as leaders. And I mean, yesterday I was busy trying to help a few of them go to Dubai to work as either doormen, drivers, waiters, housekeepers, because Dubai is recruiting 700 to 1,000 people almost monthly, you know. So I want to send a few of the Mbakasi guys there. But I would love to see us do something about the dumping site, create those recycling plants. I'm going to be meeting with the Nairobi Metropolitan Ministry because I feel they're already on the move. Also with the local government ministry, because I want to help empower Mbakasi, because that's my constituency, that's where I have now put my seed. But I also want to use my foundation to try and come up with a lot of low-cost housing. So I'm saying to Orengo, go ahead, get that land so we can give Kenyans proper housing.
Bottom line, we haven't heard the last of Esther Passaris.
Huh? No. I mean, look, I mean, as long as I'm alive, and as long as I have my two hands, and as long as I have my resources intact, I will be on the ground fighting poverty, fighting corruption, and fighting for good leaders. You know, because we can deal with poverty and corruption, but if we don't deal with the leadership, we have a problem. And then as a woman, I want to try and help. I mean, Mbakasi has a unique widows problem. You have a lot of Mungiki, a lot of people who've been killed, and a lot of widows. I was happy that David Waithaka, the guy who was trying to stand in Starehe and Coca-Cola World Bank, is doing something for widows. I have to find a synergy between me, the leaders, the ministries, and the NGO world to try and make sure that really we do what we promise to do for Kenyans. Because ultimately, if we don't, we're all doomed.
We're all doomed. Thank you so much, Esther. Well done. Good job. My guest today, you heard it from Esther Modani Rosanna Passaris herself. As long as she's alive, she's going to be out there fighting. She's never going to give up, especially for the people of Mbakasi, especially for the poor and the downtrodden. With those kind of words, who is to stop her? Who is to be there in her way? She's no doubt a person to look out to or look out for in the future of Kenya. You have been watching Capital Talk only on the award-winning station K24, where we are all Kenyan all the time.